I did not get to hear it yet. I'm definitely going to take a listen once we get done with the interview with Jason Knight. I'm definitely going to listen to that a little bit while I'm watching Night of Champions tonight.
That's right, and I just went over my picks for Night of Champions, so we'll get your picks. Saying we're waiting on Jason Knight to give us a call, and we'll get your picks. Let's see.
Oh,
what? What are you owing?
Oh no, I was gonna say. Oh right, we have the pre-show. We have Cosmic Wasteland taking on Lucha Dragons and Neville.
And Neville, a very high-flying tag team there.
Personally, I like the whole Cosmic Wasteland thing. I think you found somebody that you could pair Stardust with that is still weird, and it also gives the Ascension something to do.
Right.
So I personally, I see Cosmic Wasteland getting the nod in that match.
You see them? Oh, see, I took Neville and the Dragons. I figure they got to push Neville a little. They don't really have any way to put him, so the only way to really push him is just keep having him win meaningless matches.
But I think maybe, I mean, you put him over on Stardust at SummerSlam, so why not put Stardust over now, and then maybe have a rubber match at Hell in a Cell.
Hey, look, both point of views make sense. So this is why we watch it, because we want to know what's going to happen.
Exactly.
So we got Bray Wyatt, Luke Harper, and Braun Strowman, the Wyatt family, taking on Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, and a mystery partner. Ooh.
Personally, this is my guess. I'm going to start off with the mystery partner. I don't know. I have some kind of feeling. I think it's going to be Samoa Joe. They need a big guy. Physically, I think they need a guy who size-wise is bigger than somebody like Dean. A buddy of mine who I'm going to watch Night of Champions with, and I think there might be Daniel Bryan because he's been cleared.
Mm-hmm.
But I think physically you need somebody who's bigger, and I think Samoa Joe is somebody that fits that mold somewhat. So I think it'll be Samoa Joe who's going to be the partner. And I think, as much as, it's a tough decision because I really think the Wyatts should go over. And I think they will, but part of me does think that they might have Ambrose, Reigns, and their mystery partner go over. But I'm still going to pick the Wyatts, though, but it'll be a good match.
Okay. I picked Roman Reigns. Well, I'm sorry. I don't even know if I picked a winner. I think I got so involved in the mystery partner. I'm going to take the Wyatts. I said what I would like to be the mystery partner. Somebody I think that if he strapped on a black vest and black cargo pants, with his look, would be badass enough to be a partner with Reigns and Ambrose. And I said Adam Rose.
Huh. But my thing is, I think Adam Rose fits in. You throw a little eyeliner on that guy, he looks better with the freaking Wyatts, bro.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you change his look a little, I mean, I seen that picture out there that had Eric Rowan and Adam Rose with the Wyatt family. Some people think Eric Rowan's going to be the mystery partner.
No, he's not. I don't think he's cleared. I don't think
he's cleared as well. They said he will be in the building, but I don't think he's cleared.
Yeah.
Maybe he just is in the background during a promo or something. But I mean, just think of it. You got the dark eyeliner, the black hair with the ponytail. You throw a black vest on, black cargo pants. I think Adam Rose is just bad. The look is just badass enough to hang with Reigns and Ambrose.
I'd be all for it. I mean, I like him. I do have to say one thing, though. I do see Ambrose and Reigns will be in the ring. They'll be getting ready to announce their partner, and Bo Dallas will come out and try to say that he's the mystery partner, and they'll lay him out or something like that. I do see that happening.
I would love if he came out before Ambrose and Reigns got there. Now, the Wyatt family's in the ring, which I think the Wyatt family is going to come out second. But it would be great. And if Bo Dallas comes out and tells the Wyatts that they need to believe, and Bray lays out his brother.
Bray lays out his brother, or he sticks Strowman on him, I think. Which I think that's what he would do. But yeah, I can see that happen. I do see Bo Dallas showing up in that match.
Or he comes out with a white sheep's mask and it says Bo Leave on it.
That would be awesome.
All right. Well, at this time, we're joined by former ECW and WWE superstar Jason Knight. Welcome to the show, Jay.
Hey, how are you?
We're doing good. How are you?
I'm fine.
You're fine. Well, I'm glad you're fine. I'm glad. We're joined by Nick DeBeard. My co-host is also with us. We, thank you for being on the show, and we're going to ask you some questions that we pretty much ask all the guests on the show to get the fans familiar with you. Because everybody can turn on TV and networks and YouTube and watch matches, but that doesn't mean they really they don't know the wrestler. So we want to know you, Jay. We want to know who you are.
Okay.
I know, right? That's crazy. That's
crazy. Are we talking about Are we talking about blood type or what the
fuck? So how did you become a wrestler? When did this all start? Like, what made you click one day and say, "Hey, I want to get in the ring"?
Well, when I was born in '63 and then started growing up to be a young man, I admired Bruce Lee. Then, I attended a lot of martial arts academies. Mm-hmm. And then, once I moved to the western part of Europe and, and the United States, I saw wrestling on TV, and I was like, I want to do this, and pretty much, cut and dry.
All right. Now, you were a part of ECW when they were still alive and kicking with their own legs. Now, there's a lot of guys that have come out of ECW that are household names, and not even including like Paul Heyman. I'm just talking about the wrestlers themselves. What was it like to wrestle with these guys and to travel with these guys and with ECW being such a different brand than your cookie cutter WCW, WWE?
Well, basically it was nothing. It was almost like we never realized the impact that we would make, mm-hmm. because it was like, honestly, we were made to believe that this would last forever.
Right.
And I always knew that, there were like a few people like Paul Heyman, Dreamer, Taz, and all those guys that, knew that, they were going to move on to bigger and better things, and used ECW as, pretty much just something that they can do,
Right. So you feel that guys like Taz and Heyman, they used their experience at ECW kind of like a stepping stone to get to WWE or WCW?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. And I mean, I know that they hear me over and over again because I've been saying this for a longer period of time, but I'm just saying, hey, you got us. I'm not trying to say that in order to insult them or anything like that, but absolutely, yeah. Okay. There was like a stepping stone. It was like they did it, and Paul had a few of them. Had him, Dreamer, Taz, Raven, and a few other guys, just so they could move on. And, ECW, when Paul took it over, was never meant to last for a period of time, maybe 5-10 years. Mm-hmm. And it lasted, 8 years? That's it.
Well,
it was like a resume.
I mean, they said Heyman made some bad business decisions that wound up costing the company's longevity. That he was a brilliant man, but when it came to making financial decisions, he really was not the guy that should have been doing it.
I don't believe that. Paul Heyman, when it comes to finances, he won't make a decision that will turn one penny into whatever it is. You know, I mean, he will take it. You know, we'll take a penny
Mm-hmm.
and make it into a dollar. No, no way. You know, I mean, it was all pretty much Paul Heyman having his few lackers in the office, and they knew that they were going to make a fool out of all of us. You know, maybe like a couple of hundred wrestlers that, you know, came in through, and then to say, oh, you know, Paul made all these bad business decisions. No. Paul Heyman is too intelligent to make one bad decision when it comes to business or finance.
Okay. Nick, you had a question, right, Nick?
Yeah. Who did, like, in your career in ECW, who's somebody that you really looked up to, somebody that maybe, like, taught you a couple things either in the ring or about the business in general that really helped you evolve as maybe a character and an in-ring wrestler?
There was somebody in the business that helped me, and no, you know, I mean, you know, I got into the business knowing back then there was a big man's world, and, you know, I was just gonna, you know, do jobs on TV, and, you know, I never thought I would ever have a character. Mm-hmm. So, and then being a guy that did a lot of jobs on TV, I pretty much said, oh my gosh, you know, this is how I would be, how I would act as a character on top. So, and that's why, you know, I have a lot of respect, you know, for people that just, you know, break in, you know, the guys that, you know, just do jobs on, you know, TV, well, you know, which is not there anymore. But
as far as your time with WWE, I guess they really altered your character and changed you. I don't even know how to explain it, what they changed you into. I mean, some guys would say they were happy just to be in WWE. You know, they didn't care. But, like, did you enjoy your time with WWE? Do you think that they should have stuck with the character you had with ECW? And
it's kind of hard to. I mean.
Well, you know, ECW had more of that badass. You know, you carried the Kengo stick, and you had more of that badass look. And in WWE, you had that very cleaned up, pretty boy look, and, you know, girls probably loved it.
You know, it's all showbiz. You know, I'm not sure. You know, once I got over there to ECW, mm-hmm. Being a part of that whole thing, you know, I knew it was all going to go down south.
Right.
And I mean south like nothing.
Now, you tagged up a lot with Sandman and guys like that. Won the tag team titles a couple times in ECW. Now, since ECW was so unique and different, what do you remember? Like you could say, look back and say, you know, that was like my defining moment in wrestling, or my defining moment in the ring. What would you look back and say would be that?
Probably just having a chance to be in the business, and, you know, all the companies that you are mentioning mm-hmm. right now, you know, just being a part of it, honestly. You know, because, you know, I've never been one of those guys that wanted to, you know, God Almighty, honestly, I'm so surprised that some of those fucking people have ever made it to a point that they have, and there right now, you know? I mean, I thought, professional wrestlers should have been like